Hi everyone, welcome to my beauty and bathroom routine. It's very echoey in here, but there's nothing I can do about that because it's a bathroom and it's completely tiled. I've been having a really good laugh to myself because everybody these days is obsessed with cacti and succulent plants and stuff, and they have these perfect Instagram photos of their perfect plants. Look at mine. I've had them for 10 years. And they've moved a lot of times, and some of them have just sort of given up and lost the will to live. In fact, they're quite healthy, but they've just gone really odd shapes. You know, like when you go to those farmers markets and they've got vegetables and they're suddenly really knobbly and weird. That's a bit like my cacti. Anyway, I've just been having a good chuckle about that one who's got sort of toppled over. So starting off with the bath, running the bath, and then I sort of do my skincare while the bath is running. I like to use an oil or something that's non-bubbly because I do find that the bubble bath type things dry my skin out. So at the moment I'm using the Mother's Bath oil from Neal's Yard Remedies, which is a lovely one and formulated specifically for pregnancy. So some people worry about certain essential oils and things like that, and I think that if you go for a pregnancy one, you know that they've put some thought into what they're putting in. Now, while all that's going on, I cleanse. Cleansing, massively important. I always use some kind of balm or cream cleanser, something that I can take off with a flannel as my evening cleanse. I often do in the morning as well, but in the evening it's like a non-negotiable thing. So I've been using this one for years. This is the Emma Hardy Amazing Face Moringa Cleansing Balm. It's got a really gorgeous texture that sort of melts onto your skin. You can really massage it in so it melts off your eye makeup. It's sort of like a multi-purpose cleanser really. Doesn't sting the eyes, doesn't leave the skin feeling too tight. So good old cleanse with that, and then I remove it using a flannel and warm water, so not too hot. So by the time the bath is run, I've usually finished cleansing and then it's on with a mask. Now during pregnancy I tend to step away from the full-on face peels and acid type things because my skin just doesn't get on with them. It's a little bit too harsh. But I still want something really deep cleansing. So the mask stage is where this happens. I've been using the L'Oreal Pure Clay masks, and you've probably heard of these. Comes in 3 different varieties. And each of the 3 masks does a slightly different thing. I don't know whether you've heard of multi-masking, but this is something that's been around for a while. And basically the concept is that you use a different type of mask where it has a different function on different zones of your face, because not all zones of your face are always going to be the same. So it might be that you get congestion in certain areas but the rest of it looks a bit dull, or you kind of feel like it needs purifying or toning in one area but you don't want to use it all over. So that is the concept behind multi-masking. And the 2 that I've been using the most, first of all the black one, which is the detox mask. And this is the black clay with charcoal. So it's all about drawing out impurities, sort of detoxifying and really, really deep cleansing. And I find that I get a little bit congested around here. It just starts to feel a bit ugh, and I think that's hormonal. So that's where I place this one. And also a little bit down the nose because that can be a bit gross, can't it, around there. I've just realised this makes me look like I've got a beard. And then I use the glow mask on the rest of my face. Now this contains red algae and it also has little tiny exfoliating bits. You can take it up a level and just sort of massage it in a bit, or you can just apply it as you would a normal mask. And this one leaves the skin looking really, really bright and sort of rejuvenated, which is what I want because I'm not using my acid exfoliants. And I just feel like this is my gentler option. And then the green one. I've got to stop calling it the green one, the Purity Mask. Now this is brilliant, brilliant, brilliant if you have quite oily skin, maybe it's slightly spot prone, and this one is really purifying and mattifying, so you're just leaving your skin feeling a lot cleaner, I suppose, and a lot more balanced. I have to say, this one is my favourite in terms of smell. It's got eucalyptus in it. And I think for this time of year it's really nice because it's quite wintry and warming. Funnily enough, in the summer, when I first smelt this, or in the late spring, I sort of thought, oh, isn't that really sort of fresh and summery smelling. So, go figure. So anyway, on with those, leave them on. Don't leave them on too long, you'll feel a slight tightening effect. And then again, removing with a warm flannel. You don't have to, you can splash it off, but you just get that little extra bit of sort of gentle manual exfoliation, so it leaves your skin looking really glowy and gorgeous. And also, it's easier to use a flannel to take them off, I always think. And then out of the bath, rest of the skincare routine, starting with a serum, of course, always. I like a serum at the moment just to be very hydrating. I tend to get a little bit dehydrated, and especially at this time of year. I've been using this one. This is by The Ordinary. Don't know whether you've heard of this new brand, and this is just the hyaluronic acid. So it's very sort of simple, but very, very hydrating and affordable, that one. And then in with my oils, very into oils, face oils at this time of year, either underneath a moisturizer, or sometimes I just skip the moisturizer altogether. So serum, oil, maybe a moisturizer on top. I've got my default pregnancy moisturizer, which I'll tell you about in a second. 2 face oils that I'm sort of alternating between. I've gone on about this one loads. This is the L'Oreal Rebalancing one, the Extraordinary Oil, but it's the version for if you've got sort of slightly oily or problematic skin, and I use this one if I'm getting those breakouts. And then new discovery, thanks to Caroline Hyron's, de Mamiel, and they do a pregnancy face oil, so specifically for pregnancy, which obviously it would be rude not to use if it's meant for me. And this one is gorgeous, just really one of those ones that captures your senses, and it's a little bit of a ritual. You know, you put the drops in your palms, you press the palms, you really take the scent in, and it's one of those things that just feels like a real treat, but is actually doing something as well. And then if I'm following with a moisturiser, this is sort of my default pregnancy moisturiser. Use this all the way through the last one, and have done a lot through this one as well. This is the MV Organic Skincare Rose Soothing Protective Moisturiser. And it's just a really gorgeous, it feels quite basic, but it's very, very soothing. The quality of the ingredients is amazing. And I just find that it's not incredibly rich actually, and it's sort of lightweight to put on, but it feels like it sort of resets my skin. And I either use that on its own, or I add the Rose Booster to it. And the Rose Plus Booster is just to sort of give an extra boost for dry or dehydrated skin. So it's sort of like the essence of the rose, like an espresso shot in skincare terms, if that makes any sense. So depending on how I'm feeling, that gets added to the moisturiser. Final step in the bathroom, out of necessity, because I'm so oily after this, I can't actually physically do anything else. Body oil. Now, I oiled religiously through my last pregnancy and didn't have a single stretch mark anywhere. So doing it again this time, and last time I tested out about 1 billion pregnancy stretch mark oils and things like that. And this was one of the winners for me. This is the Burt's Bees Mama Bee. It's just got a really sort of low-key citrusy scent. Very nice to massage in, and it's got a good cap. Some of them have got sort of pore caps and things like that. This one just works really well for me. I know that's a weird thing to sort of single it out for the packaging, but you wouldn't believe how many oils are just a nightmare to get out and then you give up. So that's the last step. By then I'm like a big slippery whale, and that's the whole of my routine. Just leave you with that image, shall I? More information on everything I've talked about below in the description box, and I shall see you next time.